Hi everyone, can you hear me? Mustafa, Amir,
Hi.
Arjun,
Yes.
Yes.
Bharti,
Hi, Ritu.
Kaushimran, Nilesh, Suresh.
Hello.
Good evening everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, Jitin.
Good morning.
Let's start our discussion now. So before start firewall policy, we can focus on NAT concept. Okay, NAT concept today. The topic is NAT. So can anyone help me for NAT concept from CCNA topic? What is NAT? Mustafa, any idea?
Yes.
Please help me. What is NAT? Anyone can help me? What is NAT concept?
Yes. NAT actually it map public IP into private IP.
Okay, we can use to map public IP into private IP. Thank you so much. Any other?
Network address translation.
Okay.
So our local area network, it will convert using NAT public IP. It will NAT it. Means it translate our local IP.
Okay, translate your local IP, private IP into public IP, right?
Public IP.
Nilesh, what is static NAT? Nilesh, any idea? Static NAT, dynamic NAT, and PAT.
Static NAT is one-to-one.
Suresh, please wait. Nilesh.
Yes.
What is static NAT and dynamic NAT?
Static NAT is like external IP address to an internal IP address.
Can you repeat again?
Static NAT is the external IP address. Means the network traffic goes from static external IP address to internal IP address.
No. Mustafa, what is static NAT?
Hello.
Yes, Mustafa.
Yes. Yeah, static NAT we'll be giving the defining the static IPs from where to where the destination source.
Okay. One-to-one mapping, right, everyone?
Yeah.
One-to-one mapping.
Yes. One-to-one.
Okay, let's start our discussion on NAT. So NAT we are using for translation. It doesn't matter. Okay, you want to translate in private to public or public to private or private to private or public to public. Doesn't matter. Okay. NAT we are using only for translation. So let's discuss the scenario. We have two network right now. See, this is what your private network, LAN network, and this side is called what public network. In our private network side, we are using private IP address. For example, here I'm using 192.168.10.10, 10.11, 10.12, and 13. So in our private network, in our LAN side, we are using private IP address. And if they want to access internet services or if they want to go onto the outside, they need public IP. So we need to translate our private IP address into public. And for translation, we are using NAT. And for translation configuration, we have translation configuration option, you can say. Translation configuration option. What we have static NAT configuration option, or you can go with the dynamic NAT, and third option is called PAT. What is static NAT? Static NAT is called one-to-one mapping. For example, in my LAN side, I have 20 computers. Let's talk about a small scenario. I have 20 computers right now in my LAN side. So for 20 computers, I need 20 public IP. I required what? 20 public IP. 99 99.99.1.2.3 and so on 20. So what I can do with the static NAT? With the static NAT, I need to create 20 entry manually onto this device, onto this NATed device. Manually, statically entry, you can say, one-to-one mapping. For example, I can map this private IP address with this public IP. So whenever this 10.10 is trying to go outside, he can get this 99.99.99.1 and can go outside. If 10.1 is trying to go outside, he can get this IP address and can go outside. So this is called what? One-to-one mapping. You can map your private IP address with public IP. So we have 20 private IP address, we require 20 public IP. In case if you are working in a small scenario, small network, like 5 servers you have, so you can go with the static NAT in a small network, small scenario. But in case if you have a big network, big scenario, for example, in your LAN side, you have approx 200 computers. 200 computers. And in case if you are going with the static NAT option, so yes, you require 200 public IP address, and with the static NAT, I need to create 200 entry manually onto this router, manually. This is not good. If I'm going with the static option, I need to create 200 entry. That's why we can go with the dynamic NAT. That is the reason we are going with the dynamic NAT option. In dynamic NAT, yes, I require 200 public IP address, but I'm not creating 200 entry manually onto this router. No. With the help of single command, I can create a range of public IP. With the help of single command, I can create a range of public IP here. So yes, for 200 private IP address, 200 public IP, but this time, if anyone, for exam 192.168.10.10 is trying to go outside, he can get any IP address from this public range, any IP address. This is called dynamic NAT. Clear this option, Amir? Everyone clear my point?
Yes.
Amir, Nilesh, Suresh, Bharti,
Yes.
Mustafa,
Yes, yes.
Gursimran?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. But again, with the static, with dynamic, we have a problem. With static and dynamic, for 200 private IP address, I need 200 public IP. That is the problem. That is the problem. That's why we can go with the PAT concept. PAT is known as port address translation, or you can say overload. With PAT option, you can translate your multiple private IP address with single public IP. The single public IP. For example, this is what your outgoing interface, public facing interface, you can say. This is your outgoing interface. And let's take example, we are using 99.99.99.100 here. So with PAT option, I can translate multiple private IP address with the single outgoing interface IP. What is the packet format? What is the packet format? See, for example, if this 192.168.10.10 is trying to access this outside server, let's take example, it's a 8.8.8. So what is the packet format exactly? Let me tell you it. So what is source IP? Source IP, source port number, destination IP, destination port number. So what is source IP address right now? As per our discussion, this 192.168.10.10 is trying to communicate with 8.8. So let's take a random port number for source port number, random port number, for example, 52,000. Destination IP address is 8.8.8 and destination port number is 443, for example. So this is the actual packet. This packet will travel from this PC and it will hit onto this router. Now router will create an entry for this traffic. Router first, it will create an entry for this traffic, and then it's remove this source IP address. into this packet, it will remove the source IP address. And now the router will put this outgoing interface IP address as a source. So 99.99.99.100. So this packet is traveling to outside. Now 8.8.8.8, it will give the reply to 99.99.100. And this router has an entry about this reply packet. So it will send this reply packet to the receiver. Clear this packet format, everyone?
Yeah, Jit.
Clear now, my point? Clear, everyone?
Yeah.
Arjun,
Yeah.
Arjun?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is what? This is basic CCNA. It's not a Fortinet. It's a basic CCNA concept. We have three type of
Jitendra,
NAT. Yes.
can you please how it will come back again? Revert.
See.
It will 443 or is it 52000?
See,
I forget that.
No problem. I will show you in practical. No problem. Okay.
Okay.
This return traffic I can show you in session.
Okay.
Complete path I can show you.
Okay.
No problem. But this concept is clear right now.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yes.
Nilesh.
Yes.
Okay. So we have three type of NAT: static NAT, dynamic NAT, and PAT. Static is one-to-one. Dynamic NAT, we can create a range of public IP. With PAT option, we can translate multiple private IP address with single public IP. So this is what a NAT discussion, okay, in CCNA. But what about Fortinet? What about Fortinet? In Fortinet, we can discuss two type of NAT concept. First one is called source NAT. Source NAT. And second option is called destination NAT. Destination NAT concept. And to configure this source and destination, we have two configuration option in Fortinet. It's called firewall policy NAT. And second option is called central NAT. What we have two options: source NAT and destination NAT. To configure source and destination NAT, either you can configure with the firewall policy or you can configure with the central NAT. So yes, we can discuss firewall policy NAT, everyone. But what is firewall policy? What is firewall policy? We don't know, right? Mustafa, Amir, everyone, we don't know.
Firewall policy is which
It's a concept.
we
It's
can
a
allow.
concept we know. To this, but we don't know how to configure it, right?
Yeah. Correct.
Okay. How to configure similar concept we know. To allow traffic from one network to another network, we need to configure firewall policy. Yes.
Yeah.
How to work with the firewall policy, we can discuss today.
Okay.
Bharti, can you hear me? Bharti.
Yes, sir, I can hear.
Okay, see what we have. So before start NAT discussion, let's talk about this topic is called firewall policy concept. Firewall policy concept first. So I have a small topology. Let me show you. Please wait 5 minutes, everyone. Please wait. I need to reset this firewall device because I was using another batch, so I need to reset. Okay, so this is our topology. I have one FortiGate firewall device, one FortiGate firewall box with LAN connectivity and WAN connectivity. So what I will do, I will configure port number 2, port number 1, and default routing towards this ISP. Basic configuration. Port number 1 is acting as a WAN port. You can see, guys, as per topology. So it's a alias name is WAN. Alias is WAN. Port number 2 is our LAN interface. So alias is LAN and IP address 200.200.1/24 and services I'm using Ping right now. Let's configure default route towards ISP. So for any network, any mask, gateway. Any problem in basic configuration? Everyone?
Jitendra, the port one, right? In VMware, VM workstation, how you map it? Is it a NAT port or is it a bridge port? Can you show me?
Okay. It's a bridge port in VMware, right?
Yeah.
It's a bridge port.
Setting.
Yes. Both LAN card I'm using as a bridge.
Oh, okay. Okay. But
Okay,
how it will map? Port one is the bridge one. Port one is the NIC one, or second one is the NIC
both
one?
I'm using as a bridge.
Yeah, correct. But we are using two port, right? First port is the port one.
Okay, first is
How
port
it-
1. Yes. Wait.
Okay.
Wait. So we have two LAN card. I'm using this one only.
Okay.
This I'm utilizing only this one. But for
Okay.
other particulars, not only for Forti, in other particulars, you can add one more LAN card and you can use bridge.
Okay.
No need to change this setting. Okay, what you can do, you can select bridge for both LAN card.
So if you are using the management like cloud management, which one we can select?
See,
This one only?
with bridge, what you can do, you can connect your EVNG with your Wi-Fi modem. So I'm getting this IP address from my Wi-Fi modem. That is the reason. That's why I can connect my power box with internet directly. Let me show you. See, same series of IP address I have on my Wi-Fi adapter card.
Okay.
So that's why you can use bridge. No need to change anything.
Okay.
Okay, any problem into this basic configuration? Amir or Simran? We have one firewall device with LAN interface configuration, WAN interface configuration, default routing. Simple topology. Clear now, Mustafa?
Yes, I have one question regarding.
Yes, Amir. Yes.
Yeah, from the when we will set the bridge and we will get the IP from the WAN Wi-Fi, And for the LAN, if we will make it a bridge, so again we will get the IP from.
No. This you are talking about this second LAN card in EVNG.
Yes.
It's not
Second LAN
required.
card
It's
for
not
the LAN.
required. If you don't want to add, no problem. I mean, you are utilizing only this LAN card.
Okay.
Second LAN card I'm using in my configuration. I have different batches. Okay. I'm
Okay.
using this EVNG for other batches. That's why I'm using two LAN card. You need a single LAN card. No problem.
For the LAN, we will use what?
For LAN connectivity. See,
Yes.
yeah, this for this port number 2. You're talking about this port number 2.
Yeah, where it is in the port number 2 in the VMware.
I will tell you. I will give me some time.
Yeah.
Give me some time. But this topology,
Jitendra,
this
one
basic
more
configuration.
here,
Yes.
Yeah, the topology is clear.
yeah, net is there, right? It's a cloud symbol. So in that,
Suresh,
which interface?
please wait some time. Okay, I will explain you this topology.
Okay.
Wait. Because this is a new topology for you guys. Yes.
The default gateway 1.1 you have given, right? That is the IP of the
default gateway is for this. Okay, for this Wi-Fi modem gateway IP address is acting as a gateway for this firewall device.
Okay. That is 1.1 you have given.
Yes, 1.1. See. Clear?
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
So we have a small topology. Port number 1 is acting as a WAN port and port number 2 is acting as a LAN. So as per our topology, yes, we have a configuration IP address on port number 1 and port number 2 and default route towards ISP. This is our topology. Now you can go on to this inside machine, and on LAN side, I'm using 200 network. So let's try to verify IP address information here. What we have 200.100, and yes, we have a gateway address. So if you are trying to ping your gateway, you directly connected interface 200.1. So I'm getting reply. Any problem? I'm trying to verify my connectivity from this inside PC to my directly connected gateway. Any problem?
No problem.
Yes, for the LAN, where is the LAN in the VMware?
No, there's no requirement. Amir.
Okay, because I don't know about exact the concept in this lab setup. So that's why I am thinking that we are using only VMware, because in VMware we are using.
Wait, yes. See this EV in this port number 1. This port number 1 we are only using as a bridge for connectivity with Wi-Fi modem. That's it. It means I'm trying to connect one port. Any device. Any device, okay? Palo Alto, Fortinet, Checkpoint, Cisco Firewall, any device. I'm using one port. I'm trying to connect one port with the cloud. Cloud is what? My Wi-Fi modem. The rest is it's a your topology. So this port number 1. Sorry, this is it's a part of your topology. It's not required any setting in EVNG. It's not required any setting in EVNG. Clear?
Okay.
Now, so you can verify, guys. I'm trying to verify my connectivity with 200.1 and I'm getting reply. Let's verify some other information like DNS setting. DNS setting means what? It means, my point is what? We have a proper IP address configuration onto this LAN PC. You can say IP address, mask, gateway information, DNS information, everything is correct. Maybe see in your organization, this is your LAN portion, your organization. In your LAN side, you are using 200 network. So yes, we have IP address here and gateway information. But if this PC is trying to access google.com, facebook.com, youtube.com, so yes, it's required what? It's need to translate IP to name or name to IP. So we need what? DNS entry. So you can right click here on your LAN card. You can verify, yes, I have a DNS entry. This DNS entry I'm using as per my topology. In your real scenario, in your organization, maybe you have a different DNS IP address. Clear my point, Suresh?
Yeah,
Yes.
correct.
Okay. Point is what? You require DNS IP address here. In my topology, I'm using 192.168.1.1 and 8.8.8. It means you can say we have a proper IP address configuration onto this device. So now I can ping to my gateway. But in case if I'm trying to travel through the firewall device, if I'm trying to travel through the firewall device, for example, I'm trying to ping google.com. So this request I'm trying to initiate from this LAN PC. This request will go and hit onto this firewall device. And your firewall is acting as a L3 box, right, everyone? It's a L3 device. And onto this firewall device, we have a default route towards ISP. So for any unknown destination, your firewall will forward the traffic to the gateway for any unknown destination. So if I'm trying to initiate my connection, if I'm trying to initiate my traffic, google.com. So this traffic is going to hit onto the firewall device. In firewall, we have a default route, but see, we are not getting reply. Traffic is not traveling through the firewall device. See, you can verify, guys, on your firewall device. Get router info routing table all. So we have a default route. Mustafa or Simran.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have a default route towards ISP. The point is what? We have a default route. That's it. But this firewall is not forwarding traffic through the firewall device. Traffic is not traveling. See, I'm trying to ping google.com or I'm trying to access any website or something. Let's ping any other, for example, facebook.com. 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 See, I'm not getting reply. Let's try to access some website, okay? Google.com or Facebook.com. I cannot ping. See, I cannot ping and I cannot access. Why? Because it's a firewall device. It's a firewall device. If you want to allow traffic from one interface to another interface, you need to configure firewall policy. Firewall policy. In Fortinet, you can say firewall policy. In case if you have a Palo Alto, checkpoint firewall device, Cisco firepower threat defense. So Palo Alto, checkpoint firewall, Cisco firepower threat defense. These are what? These are JBF firewall, zone-based firewall. So in case if you are working with any JBF firewall box, so the concept is what? If you want to allow traffic from one zone to another zone, you need to create policy. But Fortinet is not a zone-based firewall. Amir, Arjun, Parthi.
Yes. So what is the difference? Like, this is only the name.
Yes, Amir.
Yes, my question is that this is only related to the name. Like here in the Palo Alto and the checkpoint, the name is zone, and but there in the Fortigate, the name is
interface.
Interface. Yes,
we have
the
a concept
interface
of
name
interface
is zone.
Here. We have a concept of, see, we can put multiple interface in a zone, Amir. We can put multiple interface in a zone, but this is not a zone-based firewall. Okay.
So what is the difference? Because it is only just
wait. If you have multiple interfaces, Amir, for example, this is port number 3, port number 4. So in policy, you can define your incoming interface. In policy, let me show you. Okay, Amir, give me some time. I will tell you this in practical. Okay, Amir.
Yeah, okay.
Wait. But is this option is clear right now, everyone? To allow our traffic,
Yeah.
we need to configure firewall policy. Okay, so here we have a concept of interface. We have a concept of interface. So now let's go on to the firewall device. Firewall device. So to allow our traffic, you can click on policy and object. You can click on firewall policy. You can click on firewall policy and you can see, guys, here we have a default rule. Everyone, we have a default rule. This rule is called implicit deny. See, we have a default policy here. Name of this policy is implicit deny. If any source is trying to access any destination on any scheduled time for any services, action is deny. It means if I am trying to initiate my connection, see, if I'm trying to initiate my traffic, for example, ping google.com, ping facebook.com, it means we are trying to hit this rule. We are trying to hit this rule, this default rule. This rule is called implicit deny. So to allow our traffic, we can create our firewall policy. So you can click on create new, and let's create our first firewall policy. Everyone, Bharti, Suresh, Nilesh, Mustafa,
Yes, sir.
Arjun, Amir, Gursimran.
Yes.
Let's create our first firewall policy, everyone. So now see what we have, new policy. So I'm trying to create my new policy. So first you have to give a name for this rule. For example, rule 1. You can give any name, LAN to WAN, okay, or any name you can, untrusted to trusted or inside to outside. You can give any name. So I'm using rule 1. Now see, everyone, we have an option incoming interface, outgoing. So here we don't have any zone concept. What we can do, we can click here and we can select our interface. So as per our topology, we are trying to allow our traffic from one interface to another interface. We are trying to allow traffic from LAN to WAN. So our incoming interface is port number 2 and our outgoing interface is port number 1. So let's go on to the firewall device. So our incoming interface is LAN. If you click here, you can select only one interface. See, you can select only one interface. So LAN port number 2, outgoing interface, WAN port number 1. But in case, for example, guys, if you want to add multiple interfaces, right now there is a single option. You can select any one interface only right now. But let's take example, you are creating a rule. But in rule, if you talk about incoming interface, I want to add 3 interfaces. For example, 3 interfaces is my incoming interface. So what you can do, you can click on network, you can click on interface, you can click on create new, and here is a concept of zone. Zone. So for example, I can give a name is called trust zone. In interfaces, port number 3, just example, okay, just example, port number 3, port number 4. You can click on OK. Now here we have a zone, but it's not a zone based firewall. Now you can click on firewall policy, can create your rule. If you click on incoming interface, so no need to add separate interfaces. See, trust zone. In trust zone, what we have, Mustafa? 2 interfaces. Amir, I hope it's clear for you.
Yes.
That's why please give me some time. I will tell everything. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, okay. But our task is different. So now let's create our firewall policy, everyone. So we can give a name is called rule 1. Incoming interface as per our task. Our incoming interface is port number 2. Outgoing interface is WAN port number 1. Source. So if you click onto this plus sign, you can define your source information. For example, I am creating this rule for my specific IP address. Or you can say I'm creating this rule for a range of IP. Or I'm creating this policy for a specific MAC address, for example. So here we can create object, single IP address object, a range object, MAC address object. So Fortinet, Palo Alto, Checkpoint Firewall Box, Cisco ASA. These are what? These are called object-oriented firewall. These are what? Object-oriented firewall box. So we can create object here. And these objects we can use in our configuration. Here we have some predefined objects. See, these are what? Predefined object. For example, here we have all predefined object. What is all means? Any network, any mask. So if you click on all here, it means from this incoming interface LAN port number 2, my source is anyone. But in case if you want to define your specific source, so you can click on create. You can click on address. And here we have a multiple option to define our object. See, here we have multiple option to create our IP address object. Subnet option, IP address range option, fully qualified domain name, geographical object, dynamic is not your topic, device MAC address, yes, we can create. What is subnet object? For example, I'm creating this policy for my LAN network. This is the object name, everyone. It's just object name. Here you can define your IP address. So my subnet is 200.200.0/24. Click on OK. So now see, here we have object LAN name. This is object name, and into this object we have our subnet IP address information 200.200.200/24. If you add, it means I'm trying to create my firewall policy. So from incoming interface port number 2, my source is LAN network. So this is for complete subnet. For example, if you want to, okay, let's go again on create option, click on address option. For example, I want to create this firewall policy for my specific IP address, for example, marketing-user1, and IP address 200.200.155/32. So you can create subnet object, complete range of subnet object, or you can create single IP address object. You can click on OK. You can add. So right now into this policy, I'm trying to create my rule from this incoming interface port number 2. Source is 200.200.155. Now you can click on create again. You can click on add. You can click on create. You can click on address. And now let's go with the IP range option. What is IP range option? For example, in my LAN side network, I have multiple computers. For example, 200, 215, 16, 17, and 18. I want to create my firewall policy for these 4 IP addresses: 15, 16, 17, and 18. So what I can do? I can go with the range object. I can create a range from 15 to 18. So let's give a name, new -team 5. Just a name. And here you can define 200.200.200.15 to 200.200.200.18. Click on OK. So into this object, we have 4 IP address. Any problem, Mustafa? Gursimran, Amir,
No, sir.
Bharti,
All good.
Bharti, Nilesh, Suresh?
No, sir.
No, Jitendra.
Okay.
Right now we don't have.
So now,
Sir, so
yes,
when we use address group,
address group. Give me some time, okay? Bharti, I will tell you.
okay.
Give me some time. I will tell you. Right now, I'm creating a specific object. Then we can combine multiple objects and we can create an address group object. I will tell you later, okay? I will. But it's clear, everyone? Okay. Now you can click on create again. You can click on address. And now I can go with the fully qualified domain name. So what is fully qualified domain name? For example, FTP-server. Please turn off your mic, everyone. Okay. So now, fully qualified domain name means what? For example, here we have a domain name www.xyz.com. I have a domain name, for example, and this domain name is for FTP server. So you can define a name for this fully qualified domain name. So this complete domain name is called FTP server 1. You can click on OK. Yes, XYZ is not available right now, but this is just an example. You can create fully qualified domain name object. Now you can click on create, you can click on address. Now you can go with the geographical location object. Geographical location, for example, I want to block all IP address from China, for example. I want to block all IP address from China. So I need to know the IP address, which series of IP address they are using. No need to know. You are working with firewall device, Fortinet firewall device. So no need to create a list of IP. What you can do here, we have a country information. See, in Fortinet, we have all country information. Fortinet firewall has all the detail. Only you need to add this information. For example, China. So yes, you can just add your country information. You can give a name, block for everyone. So you can create geographical location object. You can click on it. I'm not going to add China as a source because China is not in my LAN. But yes, whenever you are creating firewall policy from WAN to LAN, Suresh, you can create these objects. What is IP address on China side? It's a Fortigate firewall responsibility. Fortigate will find it. Only you need to create object. Now you can click on create, you can click on address, and now you can use this option. It's called MAC address. Why we required MAC address object? Any idea? Why we required MAC address object?
Yes, this is for the security. Like if we have some specific machines, computers, or any devices, so we can take the MAC addresses and we can only allow these devices only.
So Amir, we can do this with IP address, no problem.
Yes, with
Every
IP address
machine
we
has
can
IP
change.
address.
Yeah, IP
IP
address we
address
can
can be
change.
changeable.
That is the point. That is the point.
Yeah.
Amir. In case if you are working with DSCP, that is the case. In case if you are working with DSCP scenario and everyone is getting different IP address every day. So yes, you can go with the MAC address object. Clear my point? MAC address object. MAC address object. So we can create single MAC address object. If you have say MAC address information, so you can define here. I'm not creating, I'm giving you idea. Either you can create single MAC address object or you can go with the range of MAC address. So you can create and you can attach as a source. I hope it's clear how to create IP address object, everyone. Kursimran, Suresh, Bharti,
Jitendra.
Amir.
Yes.
Okay. Now we have one more information is called user. I'm not going to discuss this option right now because we have a separate topic for user. We have a FortiGate AD concept. Chapter number 7 or 8 we have. So we'll discuss later what is user account, what is group account, how to create, how to integrate our firewall device with remote authentication servers like Radius server, TechX server. We'll discuss later. Right now, our focus is on IP address object. Okay, okay, clear everyone? IP address object. Simran, Amir, Bharti, Mustafa, Suresh.
Yeah,
So
Jiten.
right now, I'm using all right now. Sources here, right? But yes, I will create multiple objects and I can use in my firewall policy, no problem. But let's go with the right now, any, right now, any. So any source, if you click on destination, so see guys, there is a difference. See, there is a difference. If you click on source, so we have 3 tabs: address, user, and internet services. But if you go with the destination option, you have only 2: address and internet service. So in source, you have to define 3 information: IP address, source user account information. But in destination, you can only define destination IP address, or here we have internet services. Remember I told you we have internet object, internet services object. Right now we have 1531 internet services object information. So if you have destination IP address, no problem. You can click on create, you can click on address, and you can define your destination IP address. You can create your object here and you can attach. Otherwise, you can go with the internet services. For example, you can just add. So I'm not going with the internet services. I'm going with the any right now. So any source and any destination. Okay, schedule time. Right now we have this. This is what always we have. Always means what? Sunday to Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, every day, and any start time, any end time. So you can create a schedule time. For example, I want to use this firewall policy in between Monday to Friday. Timing is 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. for example. So you can create your schedule time. You can click on create. You can click on one time schedule. And here we have 2 options: one time and recurring. In one time, you can give a name for this object. You can define your start, date, and time, end date and time, and pre-expiration this event log. Number of days before 3 to as per you. So with one time you can define your start date and end date, but with the recurring option you can get one more information: days. For example, I want to use on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. 3 days, start time and stop time. You can decide. I'm not creating, I'm giving you idea. I'm going with the always, anytime. Okay, let's take a break for 5 minutes. Everyone, Kusamran, Amir, Bharti,
Sure.
Mustafa, Nilesh, Suresh.
Okay.
Take a break. We can continue at 9:50. Please turn off your mic, everyone. Okay, everyone, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
One. Okay, let's start our session.
Yes.
Okay.
Jitu, I have one small question. Like this is general question.
Yes, Amir.
Regarding the firewall, while we will purchase the firewall, so like there is a license and like users and many features. Okay. So how to select the best firewall for purchasing?
It's depend upon your requirement. Okay. Requirement.
Yes.
For example, if you want to utilize all the security profiles option, see these are the license available for IP antivirus license you can purchase, intrusion prevention license. So this is I'm telling you about software related, okay, option, software related.
Yes.
For hardware, you can check data sheet. You can
I'm
check
talking about the
data sheet. Okay, for example, entry level firewall device or mid range firewall device. You can check the data sheet for firewall throughput or other information. But for software, if you talk about Forti US version, so US you require licenses. For example, if you don't want to configure SD-WAN, so not required. If you
yes,
want
so
to,
I
if
think
you want
this
to
feature,
utilize on,
yeah, this feature is available in all version, like in all the hardware firewall. I'm asking about the
yes,
hardware.
see,
Yes.
you can log in your firewall device. You can click on FortiGuard, and here you can get all license information list. Clear?
Yes.
What license? So it's up to you which license you required. For example,
Regarding the license, yes. Regarding the license, yes. I think in every firewall, like this feature is available. This depend an option. Like
yes, options depend. You see, not
yeah.
if you compare with the Palo Alto, so we have a different option. Like in Fortinet, what we have, we can purchase antivirus license, right?
Yes.
But if you go into Palo Alto, there's no antivirus license. Every vendor has its own function on it. Okay, you cannot compare. In Fortinet, you have antivirus license you can purchase. In Palo Alto, what we have antivirus profile, anti-spyware profile, vulnerability protection profile. To utilize these three security profiles, you need to purchase single licenses called threat prevention. So in every vendor, we have different options.
Yes. Okay. This is a subscription. Yes, this is a subscription.
It's a license subscription, exactly.
Yeah, license subscription. I'm asking about the best firewall. Like there is some expensive firewall as well. Okay, like the throughput, like I don't know the other features, but like this feature is in the subscription, in the license subscription. I'm asking about the hardware firewall. How to select the best for hardware firewall?
I told you it's depend upon your firewall throughput. You have a small scenario, a small network. Okay, see,
Throughput
what
means?
I can tell you, throughput is related with CCNA routing and switching, Amir. Okay.
Okay.
So please verify this option. But let me tell you some. I can show you some series of the firewall device. Wait. I'm not going in detail. Okay, I'm giving you the idea.
Yes. Just highlight.
These are the series of the firewall device. Now, which firewall is suitable for your organization? For this, you need to check data sheet. Amir.
Okay.
Data sheet. For example, you are planning to purchase a firewall box in between this mid-range series, 100 to 900 series of the firewall box. So what you can do, you can check the data sheet. You can go onto the Fortinet website. You can check the data sheet about the firewall throughput, or number of session it can support, number of ports you have. Amir, you have my point? Clear?
Still now I'm like little bit confused about this. But no issue if we can carry just.
Okay. Well, what is your organization size exactly? What is your organization size exactly? Okay.
In my
How you prefer a switch? For example, if you are planning to purchase a switch, how you can purchase a switch, Amir?
Yes, the
Let's
switch.
forget firewall box. How to purchase a switch? What do you think? If you want to purchase a switch right now in your organization, so what do you think?
Yes, the switch it depends. Like if I need the layer 2, like a configurable switch, then I will just
No, it's
like
a function. Layer 2 is a function.
Yeah.
My point is what? If you want to purchase a switch right now in your organization, so which is good for you? What do you think?
Yes, again,
what do you think?
again, yes, again, I will not give you the best answer, like because I have the question. So yes, this answer for the switch as well also. Like
exactly. That's what I'm telling you. See, what my point is what? See, you cannot search for multiple devices. Okay, you cannot go with this multiple devices. What you can do, you can plan. For example, I'm telling you, we have entry level firewall device, Amir, mid-range
yes.
firewall, and what high-end appliance. So now you can go on your Fortinet website and you can search some entry level firewall series, Amir.
Yes.
In entry level firewall series, you can get the data sheet.
Okay.
Data sheet, you can get what this firewall can support this number of session. Okay, we have these ports, for example, 4 ports only onto this firewall device. This is firewall throughput. So it is it if this firewall is good for you, for example, if you have Fortinet 90D, for example, 90D, and let's say example onto this firewall device, you have only 8 gigabit port, but your requirement is what 10 gigabit port. So is it good for your organization? No.
Yes.
How you can verify? We have a data sheet. I can tell you the series only. The rest you can search from Google. Amen.
Okay.
You can search from. You can go onto the Forti website because there are multiple products.
Yeah, a lot of so that's why like I was confusing regarding this question like this.
What I can do from my side, I can share some data sheet in our WhatsApp group. I can share some data sheet about some firewall devices. Amen. Okay. Yeah.
Like for example, in my company, in our company, like there is like a lot of branches in the Gulf countries. So in every branch there is a lot of employees. So approximately we have 1,500 employees. Okay. So if I will select the firewall branch in the branch, it's already fixed. The firewall is already fixed. Okay. But if we will upgrade the system, so how, like my question was that if I have 1,500 users, how I will select the firewall? Like whether I can use the basic firewall for all these things?
That's why you need to go with the data sheet, Amir. Yes. For example, your requirement is what 500 machine, right?
Yes.
So this is not only option. Okay, you can also go with the data traffic. Maybe you are working because see, in case if your organization is a gaming, they are creating a gaming application, so they require too much bandwidth. They require too much firewall throughput. In case if your organization is a small organization, they are only providing HR services, so they require a limited bandwidth. I mean, limited firewall throughput. So it's also depend upon IP address and traffic volume. I mean, traffic. That's why I'm telling you firewall throughput.
I think
no problem. I can share some data sheet. Okay, you can search simply.
Yes. Yeah.
You can just type Google. You can type Fortinet firewall series. Simple. You can get multiple products here.
A lot of products are there.
Exactly. Like. So, but again, data sheet can help you. Which one is suitable for your, or you can talk to a salesperson. They can help you. But here, see, for example, see these are the series mid-range. See, mid-range, entry-level firewall device. Let me tell you. See, for example, I mean, I'm looking for this 90 series. So, for learn more, you can click here. You can get detailed information. Clear, see? firewall throughput, VPN performance. Clear? You can check detailed information.
Yeah, so this is the thing that I want
You
to
have
know.
to spend some time.
Yes, yes.
Okay, let's come on to the topic. Okay,
Yeah,
everyone.
okay.
Any question, everyone? Simran, Mustafa, Nilesh, Suresh. Let's come on to the point. Firewall policy. Rule 1. Incoming interface is LAN. Suresh, Mustafa, Nilesh, Gursimran, Bharti, Amir.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So
Yes,
as per our task, our incoming interface is LAN port number 2, outgoing interface is WAN port number 1. Source is any, destination is any, and services. So here you can add your protocol or services information. See, multiple protocols information we have. These are general services, web access services, file access, email services. See, so you can attach your protocol or services as per your requirement. For example, I want to add FTP, NFS, Samba, SMB, TFTP. You can attach. Right now, I'm going with the any. Right now, let's go with the any services. Now, once you define all the parameters into this firewall policy, all the parameters, after that, you can take an action. You can take an action. So we have two options, accept and deny. With accept means, Nilesh, I want to allow this traffic.
Yeah.
If you go with the accept option, guys, so you can utilize these options. If you go with the accept, you can utilize these options, you can use. But in case if you select deny option, see, your firewall will check all the traffic, all the parameters, and just deny the traffic. So if traffic is allowed, traffic is traveling, so you can utilize these information. So right now I want to allow my traffic. So yes, action is accept. Now, if traffic is traveling through the firewall device, then Fortinet can inspect this traffic. And for inspection, we have two inspection mode, flow based and proxy based. We have two inspection mode option, flow based and proxy based. So what is the difference between both? Flow based and proxy based. So guys, I'm giving you 2 minutes. Everyone, Amir, Bharti, Gursimran, Mustafa, Nilesh, Suresh. Everyone, I'm giving 2 minutes. Please read this information. Please read this information. This is what difference in between flow-based inspection method and proxy-based inspection method. Everyone, please read this information. I'm giving you 2 minutes, no problem. Or take 5 minutes, no problem.